me juice. I tell you, I think Playboy Magazine, you know, I've always raved about it, but I gotta say, they've had some great articles and interviews lately. And why don't we just plunge right into O.J. Simpson?
Let's plunge right into it, right into the interview.
Mike playing a role with the interviewer.
Nearly a decade after the murders of Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman, do you still maintain your innocence?
I do. I had nothing to do with him. I am totally 100% absolutely not guilty.
And yet, you remain one of the most hated men in America. Someone most people think got away with murder.
Maybe according to the media, but that's not my experience. Most people are supportive.
Most people we talk to are still angry about your acquittal.
Early on, a few times, somebody would get up and leave a restaurant when I sat down. Though not much. Somebody broke the antenna on my car. Somebody spit on my car. What are you laughing about?
I'm sorry.
I read stories about how I was kicked out all these places. They wouldn't serve me, but it's BS. The truth is, I have trouble paying for my meals when I go out. People are always picking up the tab. Maybe somewhere people are saying other things, but I don't hear about it except on television or in the media.
But America heard evidence in your case.
They watch the media coverage. Most people don't know that what was a rumor, what was true. There's a lot of money to be made by continuing the O.J. story. The other day I was trying on a pair of golf gloves, and the next day it's in the papers.
Sorry, O.J., I was just imagining how close that would resemble what happened in the courtroom. I'm sorry.
The guy in the store sold the story. Negative stories sell.
Well, that depends on who you talk to.
No matter how they approach me, most people's reaction comes down to this. You went to court and the jury says you didn't do it. Many people says, you got screwed. Some say, we don't know if you did it or not, but please take care of those kids.
Well, no, you were...
Wait, he got screwed.
That's hilarious.
He got screwed.
Yeah, he got screwed.
By being found not guilty.
Yeah.
When he murdered them.
Right.
He got screwed.
And as if people come up and say, man, I don't know if you did it or not, but please take care of those kids. What? Absolutely ludicrous.
Please, you murdered their mother.
Yeah.
At least take care of the kids.
Yeah, at least do that. I mean, you know, hold up the 50% of the family that's left after you annihilated everyone.
Yeah, let's keep the laughs coming, eh, Simpson?
Though you were acquitted in the criminal trial, you were held responsible for the murders in the civil trial.
That's the biggest pile of crap I've ever heard.
Well, most people don't believe in your innocence.
The jury did. They came back with a decision quickly. If there was any reasonable doubt, they would have not come back so quickly. There's some O.J. logic for you.
Yeah, I know. That's what I love about this. That's rampant in this.
Majority felt I was jobbed. Unfortunately, the media didn't let that be the story. The show went on. Many people blame jury nullification. The fact that the jury was loaded with blacks. That's the biggest pile of crap I've ever heard. Go to a jury room in almost any major city. The vast majority of jurors, no matter how many blacks live in the city, are black. I've seen jurors talk about my case. The older Caucasian lady said something like, look, when you see nothing there one day and then 3 weeks later, there is.
You're referring to the charge that the police planted evidence.
Yes, and even people who believe I'm guilty believe the police planted evidence. Early in my trial, after Van Natter, Lang, and Furman testified, one of the deputies in the jail told me, I don't know if you did it or not, but those guys are liars and the jury knows they're lying. You're going home. When the jury knows the cops are lying, they never convict. You know, this pisses me off.
Oh, I know. You know what's apparent from this is the idea that this guy, you know what, to this day lives and breathes that trial time and time again. You know what I mean?
There was not evidence that showed up 3 weeks later.
Oh, God, no.
Now, they had a glove at the murder site, a glove at his house, a trail of blood from the house to the car to the house.
God, yes. And then in the end,
in the drains.
Too bad those Bruno Mollies came in late. That photograph. Damn it.
Since you're playing the interview, you never ask about the Bruno Mollies in this.
I know.
Talked about that.
I'm very sorry about that.
We could have heard the hilarious response that they doctored the photos 6 months before the murders. They doctored the photos.
Yeah, right.
Of him wearing the murdering shoes.
Right, when everything looked a little big. Well, we've talked about how the guard was very confident that you were going to get off. Were you as confident?
I've lost my place here. Hold on,
you're right on the top of...
that immediate always making me lose my place.
You're on the top of page 62 on the upper right.
Yeah. I was because of my faith.
Yeah, sure.
God always rewards murderers.
Yeah, always. Always.
From the start, I thought they were going to let me out of jail any day. I got a little disappointed as time went on because Never thought it would go that far. Yeah, blood.
Yeah.
The two victims' blood and your blood mixed together in the Bronco.
Yeah.
Why would it go that far?
Yeah, and he got a little disappointed. He was bouncing off the walls in there.
I never thought it would go that far. I didn't understand the impact of the media, though. In a high-profile case, if you ask the public at the beginning of a trial and again after the verdict, if they think someone is guilty, there's not much difference.
All right, well, you know what? Let's switch gears here. Are there parallels between your case and the Scott Peterson case?
I heard that Scott Peterson had $10,000 on him when he was arrested. Well, they said I had $10,000 when I was arrested, but I had $3 or something.
I love that.
That is
Sorry,
such
you had
bullcrap.
$10,000, bitch.
You know what? I think in the end, in the civil trial, and I read the transcript, I think he had $8,500. I think he took $10,000 out of the bank, and he spent money, like, on the mask. You remember, he bought some crap.
Definitely had the fake mustache and all that sort of
He had his passport. I think he had $8,500. But it's really funny. Later on, he talks about the Bronco chase.
Yeah.
And the fact they didn't bring it up in the trial. And this was so dumb because if they brought up the Bronco chase, they would have to allow the phone calls that were made from the Bronco, which were captured on... remember how they monitored those?
Definitely.
And they had him telling his mother he didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know, Marcia Clark and Darden are such pussies. They thought, they have him. We have audio of him saying he didn't do it. It's so powerful. It's the almighty O.J. Simpson.
Yes.
But mind you, you also had him in a Bronco driving endlessly, fleeing, which is a sign of guilt.
Absolutely.
Everyone agrees on that. Why would an innocent man be doing that? But they were so afraid because he said, Mom, I didn't do it.
Oh, I know it. Like
I'm going home.
I know. Like he's going to admit it to his mother. You know?
Yeah, who helped him lie?
That's right.
The laugh's coming, eh, Simpson?
I love this, too, the way it gets into the Scott Peterson thing and the way he so tries to create these parallels between him and Scott, how they're just equally abused by the way police do things.
Nobody's guilty in a high-profile case. Anyway, I had $3 or something. You never hear about it when it proves untrue. The first report on CNN about the Peterson case said he'd changed his look and was 30 miles from the Mexican border. Of course, mind you not, O.J., we've seen him, you dickhead.
Absolutely.
He had blonde hair. He claimed he got in a pool.
To look like his brother. Said the chlorine changed his hair color.
Had his brother's ID.
Yeah, that's
what
right.
a dumbass Simpson is.
Oh, I know it. It's absolutely outrageous.
You know, he and O.J. are equally stupid.
I know.
mean, Homer and O.J. are equally stupid Simpsons.
I love this as this goes, though. The business of why somebody would want to have a disguise.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, I know you are.
The first report about the Peterson case said he changed his look, was 30 miles from the Mexican border. He gave the impression they caught him fleeing the country. They didn't say that's where he lives. They didn't say he may have changed his look so he could go out without anybody recognizing him. So he could go out on the golf course.
Oh, I see. So that's why Juice had all that stuff with him. There you go. You see? It was so he wouldn't be recognized, even though he wanted to be recognized wherever he went.
They created the impression that he was fleeing, so he's guilty. But by O.J. logic, since he wasn't fleeing, he's not guilty.
That's right.
I'm not saying that he isn't, but I don't pretend to know. I'll say at least 50% of my new friends thought I was guilty before they met me. Boy, his new friends. What a profile of people that is.
Yeah, you're
people
not kidding.
Become friends with O.J. Simpson since he killed his wife.
Yeah, after all 100% of his old friends left him.
His new friends. What a great cross-section of America that is.
Yeah, right.
At least 50% of my new friends thought I was guilty before they met me. They've changed their minds now that they've hung out with me. Met my friends. Met Nicole's real friends. Not the Faye Resnicks and the wannabes. Those party people the media focused on.
Oh, there's the
Party
slam on.
people.
Oh, I know it. And
This
again,
guy's the biggest partier in the world.
Absolutely. And again, the swipe at Faye Resnick, who he deeply hates.
Oh, does he want to get his hands around her neck?
Oh, man.
Now when they see the tabloid stories about me, they get madder than I do. God damn it, O.J. Look what they're saying about you.
That is absolutely hilarious.
Hey, calm down. Look, it's not true. I'm used to it.
After a while,
caught a murderer.
That's absolutely hilarious.
Look, I want you to calm down. You're getting too excited about this article about me.
These people get madder than he does. That is absolutely a scream.
I have to calm them down. Somebody puts out that I did a porno movie. It starts in some tabloid, then the mainstream media picks it up. The media.
Well, you're always talking about people setting you up, and I've heard lately you've been talking about that. And who tried to set you up? I don't get it.
Some guy tried to set me up with these girls. Come in a room, have a drink. They had cameras thinking they were going to catch me doing somebody. I guess the guy sort of felt guilty. He warned me. Not that I was going to do it anyways.
You know what's funny about this is talking about these porno movies. He's trying to say he had nothing to do with the whole business of any kind of a porno. Ooh, porno. I wasn't no porno. But the next thing you know, he's talking about all these circumstances that would put him in a porno movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Some guy is, you know what I mean? You're at some place in Vegas and all this stuff where there were chicks.
Another time in Las Vegas, I went to a room with a guy that had $1 million and two girls who were in the porn business. He said, after sex, we'll put $1.5 million wherever you want. I wasn't interested, though. I might have been with one of those girls.
What?
So, in other words, he did one of them.
Exactly.
I might have been.
I know. He's trying. He's like, I have nothing to do with any of the porno stuff. And then look at this. He's right in the middle of it.
All my friends, and that's my new friends, thought I was crazy for turning it down. They would have gone for it. I'm a bachelor. I can do what I want. But my mother was still alive at the time. I got 2 young children. I turned down millions of dollars. That's the truth. But nobody's interested in the story. So, in other words, it's cool with your kids if you kill their mom. But God forbid you do a porno.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to get...
I got kids.
I'm not going to get blown by some porno star while the kids are in the house.
Look, you can murder people with kids, but you can't be doing porno. What kind of example does that set for them? You understand if you go in a rage over your wife fooling around, you have to kill her? That's part of life.
And a waiter.
And a waiter.
Well, OJ, I don't understand, the media scrutiny seems to affect your day-to-day life. I'm thinking, if I'm right, does that make you angry?
That's a great question.
Thank you. It's actually, I looked at it through a lot of scratching.
I know, I made a mess out of it.
Yeah, I tried to put that together. Let's put it this way. How does the media scrutiny affect your day-to-day life? Does it make you angry?
It's one thing to target me, but don't try to put these emphases on my kids. I think the average person would agree that my kids have gone through a lot. Well, yeah, since you murdered their mom. Yeah. That's a lot to go through. And then they have to live with you, the person that killed their mom.
Exactly.
That's pretty tough. I think the average person would agree my kids have gone through a lot. It's not too much to ask that the kids be left alone. They're terrific kids. The president's daughters have gotten into trouble.
Look at this now.
Governor Jeb Bush's daughters have had troubles. Nobody calls President Bush or Governor Bush bad parents.
Look at how he drags everybody into it.
They didn't murder their wives.
Right.
And their wives waiter, you jackass.
Mother. That's right.
If my son and daughter committed any of those indiscretions, the reaction would be, oh, those poor kids, what would you expect? Nobody wants to give me credit as a single parent. Well, you eliminated the other parent, you jerk.
Exactly.
I've done something right, because I have 2 exceptionally well-adjusted kids.
Isn't that amazing? He kills the mother, creates a circumstance where he's a single parent, and then wants credit for it.
Wow.
Bat to his statue or something?
Yeah, that's his older kid from the first marriage.
Well-adjusted.
Yeah, the kid took a baseball bat and decapitated the statue
of OJ.
Absolutely. Well, OJ, Sydney recently called 911 and reportedly had a fight with you.
I keep asking her why she called. She says, well, I just want to ask him a question, and she did. Is it abuse if he tells me I'm a pain in the ass? The OJ going, Sydney, you're a pain in the ass. I'm calling 911.
Exactly.
I mean, these kids are around a 911 call every 5 minutes of their lives.
Well, that's right. They're constantly calling 911. And the interesting, of course, what happened here is Sydney, who called 911, she said, I don't want to be with my father. She told this to police. And listen to this. Sydney actually says on tape, he tells me he doesn't effing love me. That's not like an abuse thing. And look at the language going on here. Look at this kid. Look at the circumstance. And OJ, I keep asking her why she called. He's pounding away at that kid. I think that's a major problem there. He's not letting that thing go.
Oh, no. He is essentially implying that Sydney is a future Nicole who needs to be stopped.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Probably needs to have her heart stopped. Well, it wasn't even an argument. She was on the wrong side of something with her brother, and I told her to look in the mirror. God, is he bizarre.
Isn't that absolutely wild? Do you believe that?
She's kind of driving everybody crazy around here. It's just a teenage daughter thing. Media make it 100 times more than that. Nobody was in danger. Nobody was threatened. The police let it go. It was a non-incident.
Well, I don't know how many teenagers called 911 just because they were reprimanded, Juice. I mean, come on.
Evidently, it happens quite often. When the police came, they knew immediately what it was. A non-incident. Yeah, the police show up. Oh, it looks like a non-incident to us.
Yeah, right.
It's just some kid called 911. Hey, Juice, how you doing? Can I get an autograph?
Exactly.
Can I buy you lunch? Tell you what, I'm pretty pissed about this tabloid story about you. Oh, come on, calm down, officer.
Eventually, you'll get over it. Just give it a couple weeks, you'll settle down.
Yeah, chill out.
Yeah.
I've learned that you can't believe what you read or hear. I don't know if Robert Blake or Scott Peterson is guilty. That's my opinion, but I would never say it publicly. Oh, you're such a class act.
Oh,
OJ.
yeah.
You know, that certainly would pollute the political or the judicial process if you were to comment on something.
Oh, I know it. And he thinks he thinks we're all on the edge of our seats to hear his opinion.
And then the last line, I love this.
Yeah.
Until they're proven guilty, they're innocent.
There you go.
You jerk. They either killed them or they didn't kill them.
Right.
I would bet, I can't even tell you how much I would bet, those guys did it to you, ass.
Oh, God, absolutely.
And you know what? If they're found innocent, it doesn't mean they didn't do it.
Oh,
so
I know.
Shut up, Juice.
I know. He's still trying to make this point that, come on, man, I went to the criminal trial, I was acquitted, so I am not guilty.
Yeah, it is funny that he almost thinks that it changes the fact that he killed these people because he was found not guilty.
Exactly.
Well, how could I kill them if I was found not guilty?
No, honestly, that's his argument, and he's sticking to it.
If you killed somebody, you had to be found guilty of it. Otherwise, you're not guilty and you didn't kill them. Nobody can say you killed somebody if you're not found guilty yet.
Right.
100% guilty.
And then if the civil case comes in his face, the fact that he was just absolutely wasted in that trial and found totally guilty, then it's like, oh, come on, man, that was about the money. That had nothing. That doesn't mean anything.
Oh, yeah, that transcript is
unbelievable.
Just priceless.
Yeah, it really is.
The portion about the cuts on his hand.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to get the attorney's name. Is it Petrocelli?
Yes, actually.
He asked OJ 237 questions about the cut on his finger. It is so funny. OJ goes round and round and round and round because the guy keeps asking him, okay, you cut your finger breaking a glass.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, I did.
Yeah.
Did you cut it when you broke the glass? No, I cut it cleaning up the glass. So you turned your hand so your palm was facing up to pick up the glass?
Yeah, right.
No, I didn't do that.
No.
But you don't have any cuts on the inside of your hand. So how did you pick up the glass? I mean, he asked all the logical questions.
Right.
And, it was so utterly implausible.
Oh, what a merry-go-round.
And that, of course, is where he got, see this picture? Mm-hmm. Yes. You're pretty wearing the size 11 Bruno Mollies, the exact same model that the killer was wearing. Well, it looks that way. That doesn't mean it's true. Well, what, is there something wrong with this picture? Everything looks a little big.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
He's implying that they had doctored the photo, which appeared in the Buffalo News 6 months before the murders. The Buffalo News decided to put Bruno Mollies on O.J. Simpson. Ready?
That was great.
I know, it was just so classic.
All right, which of your children had the hardest time losing their mother and then surviving a trial and custody battle, would you say, Juice?
Let me turn the page here.
Okay, go on to that, right.
My daughter had more time with her mother. She was just a teenage girl. My son Justin is probably more easygoing, not the murdering type. Sydney's a little more serious.
She knows I did it.
From day one, she's been more protective of me. She's heard people, relatives, otherwise, say things about me, and it took a while to forgive them.
It took her a while to listen to them and then believe what they were saying is the reality.
Anytime she perceives that somebody has slatted me, she tenses up. Yeah, because she knows you might murder them, you jerk.
Absolutely. I love this that they got into this. Did you have an altercation on a Florida golf course with a man who called you a killer?
Well, that's one of the few times I did lose my temper. Fortunately, he was a lot bigger than me, so it wasn't like I was picking on somebody. First, he was like, hey, Juice. Then, there's snappers out there. I hope they don't shoot. Then he said something like, you're an effing a-hole. Well, I dropped my bag. That's so funny. You guys implying that he's going to be shot. And it's no big deal, but he calls him an a-hole.
Exactly. And then he drops his bag.
I went over there. I knew I couldn't hit the guy, but I got right up on him. because I realized he was a big nothing. He let me get right up on him. If anything happened, I was going to get a couple of quick shots in. Oh, God. If he withstood that, I was going to get my ass kicked.
If he withstood that.
I was so mad, I was yelling, spraying saliva all over him, making sure I was extra juicy.
Oh, gross. What isn't that just
They call me juicy. Finally, he apologized.
They call me Juice, the Juice.
Listen to this. He apologized. He said, I thought it was strange you didn't do nothing when I called you a murderer, but you did when I called you an asshole. I said, a lot of people think I'm a murderer. That's something I got to live with. But you call anybody an asshole, you got to be prepared to get bloody. What? So, in other words, he is now...
You can freely call anybody a murderer, and that is so nothing.
He has reached a comfort zone with being called a murderer.
That's exactly
goes right through him.
Right through him. Just like, as it should anyone.
It's like hearing the Macarena.
right. And nobody should find a problem with that whatsoever. But boy,
his buddies joking on the golf course?
Yeah.
Remember that? He didn't care about any of that. Like, hey, nice slice, Juice.
Yeah, he thought it was so funny. What's my favorite soft drink? Slash.
Right.
What a kook.
How does the attention you get now compare with the attention you received as an athlete and an actor?
It's a little more caring. It's more about me.
Oh.
I guess it wasn't about you when you were carrying a football over the end line.
Right. A little more caring.
One fan, somebody who thought I got a raw deal. Now, wait, how do you project that you got a raw deal being found not guilty of murdering two people you murdered?
Well,
what is this raw deal he keeps talking about?
I know it.
He's found not guilty.
The guy's free.
Someone who thought I got a raw deal made this very plush condo available only to me. He just felt I needed a place to have on weekends when the kids weren't around. He didn't ask me for anything. Wait a second. He acts like there's an ex-wife who takes his kids.
Yeah.
Where are the kids on the weekend?
I don't know. You wouldn't think he'd want to be separated. He's such a great single parent.
You know, I wish I knew who this jerk was.
Well,
Makes it a plush kind of.
I know
Jose, I'm so angry about these tabloid stories about you. I'm going to make my plush condo available only to you on the weekends.
You know, the only thing I'm going to do, at this point, I'm going to give that guy slack, and I'm going to assume that the place was loaded with microphones and hidden cameras.
Yes, they're going to make a porno.
Oh, yeah, they're going to capture him looking at porno, and they're going to capture him going on a tangent about the fact they actually did it. Well,
he didn't ask me for anything in return.
Let's talk about the money here. Is it true that your pension is $300,000 a year?
Whatever it is, and you're not too far off. No more than $20,000 is my NFL pension. All the rest is my personal pension. There's another thing they like to dog me on. Give me some credit. I did prepare for that rainy day, though I did not expect a monsoon.
I love that. I love that. I didn't expect a monsoon.
Prepare for a rainy day.
I know it. Well, you owe $33.5 million in a civil suit. How much have you paid?
Whatever they got from selling my stuff. The police came, took everything, my art, my rugs. I went out to play golf.
Does a civil suit provide a disincentive to work since your earnings would go to the Goldmans and the Browns?
I have vowed I will never pay anything other than what the law requires I have to pay.
I see.
I will not raise a finger to pay them. If it means I can't work, I won't work. However, if I did a show tomorrow and they gave me $100,000, I can keep it and spend it.
Ooh.
No law says I have to hand it over. They've got to get it. Ooh. By the time they did, it'll be gone.
Ooh.
I got a little more latitude here in Florida. The state has something called head of the household or some crap, which means that my base salary is protected.
Oh, so that's why you moved to Florida, huh?
I know.
Isn't that something?
So
look at the animosity he holds toward the Goldmans. Look at that, man.
Boy, what a class guy. He will not work.
No.
Because he has to pay someone.
Yeah, exactly. What they deserve.
You know he could keep some of the money.
Oh, God,
but in fact, he'd have to pay 1 cent to those stupid wine and murder victims.
Ain't gonna happen.
I'm not paying any money to those wine and murder victims.
Well, let me ask you this. If you had the money, would you like to pay off the Browns and the Goldmans?
Hell no!
No, oh, sorry. Okay.
Did you see that exclamation point?
Yes, I sure did.
Hell no! They don't deserve 1 red cent.
This is where he flipped when he answered this.
If If it means I have to sit on my butt or sit on a golf course for the rest of my life and not make one extra penny, I'd do that. It's not because of the Browns. People don't understand the Browns didn't sue me.
Okay. Sorry, Juice. That's me. That's untrue. They actually, Juice, that's untrue. They were a party to the civil suit.
No. They sued on behalf of the estate of Nicole just as a way to protect my kids. You know, these scumbag Browns. So in other words, they essentially lied to the Goldmans and said, we want to be a part of this suit against this terrible O.J. Simpson.
Right.
And what they were doing was, if O.J. ever came up with $33 million, the Browns would get $16.5 million of it, and they would funnel it back to the murderer, the guy that killed their kid.
Yeah.
So it would go to their grandkids.
Isn't that something?
What morons.
I know it. It's terrible. And Lou, they're going to get into that.
Lou, this doofus Brown.
Oh, he pisses me off.
He never came out against O.J. In fact, I don't think either parent really ever came out and said he murdered their daughter, even though they knew it. Their daughters knew it.
Oh, yes.
Everyone in that family knew it. Because O.J. set him up with an insurance agency.
That's right.
Back when he could run with a football.
Yep.
Before he was the stabbing league leader.
That's right.
But Lou Brown is such a dipwad. He blew the insurance agency. That fell apart. I think he went, let me see. I'll just read it here. I think I got some of this here.
Yeah, they've started to get into it.
Lou Brown told me he was signing on to the lawsuit so that if I lost, Goldman wouldn't get everything. I got all the bases covered. I'm not smart. Because I left L.A., people were shocked to see me, Judy and Lou Brown, sitting together laughing, watching the kids perform or having dinner.
Oh, jeez.
It's more than putting our differences aside for the kids. You could never do that if in your heart you thought somebody really did that.
Well, you mean if you thought somebody killed your daughter?
You mean if you thought somebody... Oh. Yeah, Judy and I, we've had no problems. We talk quite often. Judy and I talk about everything that's going on with the kids.
Look at how you see what he's doing there? He's just showing like how tight they're. Judy and I, look at this relationship. Look at this wonderful friendship that we have.
You know, remember that there was something kind of flippy with Judy Brown where, wasn't there, at one point there's a rumor that O.J. slept with Nicole's mom, like a long time ago, when Judy Brown was younger. Do you remember that?
I don't.
I forgot how it went down exactly. Story went, but anyway.
It wouldn't surprise me. Here
comes the amazing part where O.J. gets into the... Those whining murder victims. Not only are they murder victims, they're terrible parents. I mean, you literally... O.J., the father of the year, is going to tell the world in Playboy Magazine what horrible parents the Goldmans are.
I know. It really, really. Do you empathize with Fred Goldman? His son was murdered, and he's convinced you're the murderer. I mean, he's sure of it, Juice.
At one point I did, but then I learned about his relationship with his son. In a civil trial, he said he practiced tough love when his son came for him to stay out of jail. My ass! He didn't help his son. His son went to jail.
Ooh.
Then he had the unmitigated gall to say, I think it helped, because the next time it happened, I didn't even know about it until he'd gone to jail.
Look at that, the unmitigated gall. Isn't that amazing? Listen to him.
Speaking of unmitigated gall, here is a guy who murdered someone else's kid.
That's right.
Telling their parents that they're bad parents.
Talk about unmitigated gall.
If that is not the epitome of unmitigated gall, and he's saying they have unmitigated gall. Wow.
That's the beauty of Juice. That's just classic Juice, man.
He's got a sense of irony. If it had worked, he wouldn't have gone back to jail. Who lets their kids go to jail for traffic tickets or whatever it was, or murder, or You don't practice tough love unless he's a drug addict or something. O.J., the expert now on tough love.
Yeah, exactly.
And Goldman's mother, oh, Jesus Christ, she was the worst of all. She never spoke to her kid. She was the first one to file a lawsuit. Wow.
I know. How do you feel when Nicole's father sold her diaries to the National Enquirer?
Now, you would think this would be another good definition of unmitigated gall.
Yeah.
Lou Brown, Nicole's father, what a sorry ass this guy is.
I know.
He's friends with the murderer of his daughter, and then he sells her personal diaries, her innermost private thoughts.
Isn't that disgusting?
To the National Enquirer, because his
that's awful.
His money bags, his golden parachute, O.J. Simpson, is now only making $20,000 a month.
Yep.
So, the money train has come to an end. So he's got to go to his dead daughter's diaries to suck some money out of the National Enquirer.
That is so
what a pathetic
bad
piece of crap he is.
I know it. Boy, this really is a great section. The Goldmans and the Browns. Great stuff.
So now, O.J. gets to pass judgment on the parents of the woman he murdered.
Oh, yeah.
And the funny thing is, now here's a guy who has totally betrayed, in his world, the world he claims to be of, has totally betrayed the woman he loved.
Right.
The mother of his children. I mean, you never hear a nice word about Nicole in here.
Oh, God.
And he is going to be sympathetic to the man who sold the diaries of his poor ex-wife who was murdered by the real killers, or whoever it was.
There's always somewhere in the world of Faye Resnick.
I mean, as he would have us believe, he didn't commit these murders. Some other horrible person killed the mother of his children, and he is going to show sympathy for the person who sold her diaries, her own father. Listen to this.
Exactly, and this also opens up the gate to Denise that's going to get good.
That was wrong. Lou was having a big problem with money when this happened. I understand what he did, but not Denise. Denise, of course, the only member of the family who's come out to acknowledge that he is the murderer. Now, what she does is not okay.
Yep.
This is funny.
He hates Denise.
Oh, yeah. He would love to kill Denise.
This is the second one. He wants to kill Faye Resnick, and he wants to kill Denise. Big time.
But, it's interesting. Denise sold pictures of Nicole topless.
Yeah.
To the Enquirer.
I couldn't believe that when we found that out.
Her father, how pathetic is that? This poor dead woman, her family selling all her crap.
Family, her own
and
family.
hanging out with the guy that murdered. Oh,
can't
God,
believe
it's just so bad.
I know, it's just amazing.
So, anyway, he's about to suggest that Denise is worse. I mean, I think selling the diary is worse.
Oh, yeah.
A topless photo. Nicole Simpson was probably very proud of her body, and while she may have cringed, I would imagine, wouldn't you feel worse about your
your diary?
Personal diary?
Sure, that's her most private thoughts. That's digging right into her soul and her entire thought process and all that she feels and thinks about anybody and everything. And I remember when that came out in the tabs. Remember, we went through that thing in detail. It was amazing. We couldn't believe. And then to find out how it got there, who would have suspected? That's how it would reach the Enquirer.
I understand what Lou did, but not Denise. Denise is all about the money. She was a welfare child, living at home with no visible means of support for years leading up to Nicole's death. Just look at her tax returns. She was on welfare. She helped bankrupt Orange County.
Off he goes. Denise, man.
Bankrupt Orange County?
I know.
I get $600 a month.
With her welfare.
The lab's coming, Simpson.
Can you believe that?
I know.
Now he's trying to bust her. Just look at her tax returns.
Yeah, right, exactly.
She was on welfare. She helped bankrupt Orange County. Her only income in the past 15 years has been since Nicole's death. She made money off Nicole, and that's it.
I know. The way he hauls off and calls her a welfare child. Well, we read that Denise is running for Senate.
She never would. She'd have to open up her books and her past. Trust me, I know her past. Their bodies buried. And I mean literally.
Literally?
He's accusing her of murder.
I know it. Isn't that amazing?
He murders her sister, and here's Denise, who's probably never heard of flying. She's accusing her of murder.
I can't believe it. Trust me, I know her past. Oh, brother. Are you saying that she was in... Oh, wait a minute. Let's see where we are.
Everybody knows she had a lot of problems. She has a boyfriend who was murdered.
Are you saying that she was involved?
No, I'm not suggesting she had anything to do with it. I'm not saying she killed anybody, but I'm just appalled at what she has done.
But
murdering, it's funny.
Yeah.
He's outraged. It's like, not really about the murder thing.
Yeah.
How does that other crap she did?
Right.
Murdering is no big deal.
That's the message. People call him a murderer and so forth. None of that stuff.
Don't call me an a-hole.
Exactly.
Call me a murderer all day.
Well, back to the changes in your life. What's it like playing public golf courses after playing only private country clubs?
People think I was kicked out of all these private clubs, but that's BS. I chose to resign. I just...
Yeah, sure he did. That is a huge lie.
I just didn't think it was right for me to come there bringing all that baggage, that stupid murder stuff. I played a lot of private country clubs since then with no problems, though.
Yeah, have like 100 people following him, screaming murderer while he walks out of the golf course.
It's ironic when I do get crap because I ain't been convicted of nothing. The vice president has 2 DUIs. The president has 1, doesn't he? I don't even have drunk driving on my record.
Now he's implying he's better than the president.
Yeah, and the vice president.
Exactly.
That's funny. He's telling on them.
Yeah, he's always telling on people.
Look, I just got this little murder thing. It's been expunged from my record. They got DUIs.
Just like, went around with cocaine like Pedro Guerrero.
I've only been convicted in a civil trial. If I was found not guilty, I didn't do it. Obviously, they were convicted of drunk driving.
Well, still, you were charged and acquitted in a road rage incident. It was reported that you cut off some guy, got in his face, screamed at him, yanked off his glasses. What happened there?
I was driving my kids home. We were all fine. All of a sudden, this guy's on my tail. I stopped, got out, looked to see if something was wrong with my car. He got out and said, "You cut me off." I said, "Man, you chased me down." He's in my face. I said, "Man, look, F you." I got in the car laughing.
I can see that. Can't you see him with that laugh? You know that laugh he's got, that smart-assy kind of thing?
I said to my daughter, "Now that guy needs decaf." There's a man that can't control his emotions.
I'll bet when she was looking through the window, I'll bet he was berserk out there, screaming F you, sweating profusely, and then he gets in the car, and then to settle her on the... Man, that guy needs decaf.
What's he doing on my tail? I mean, he could maybe go murder somebody, the waiter, no big deal. But what's he doing on my tail? We gotta do commercials here. I know we're gonna make it to the end of it. We might have to pick up here tomorrow. We'll be here all morning.
That's right. Okay. Oh, that's great stuff. There's more. Oh, there's so much more here,
O.J. Simpson murdered Nicole Simpson and Ronald Goldman. He stabbed both of them to death with a machete. He was arrested on 2 state murder charges. O.J. Simpson was taken to jail.
O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson. By the way, Wesley Willis, R.I.P.
Yeah, really. So true.
O.J. Simpson's surrender was at 11 a.m. He was arrested by the Los Angeles Police Department at 9 o'clock p.m. Outside the walls of Simpson's estate, members of O.J. Simpson's family hugged each other. They cried after word of the arrest came out. O.J. Simpson, O.J. Simpson, O.J. Simpson, O.J. Simpson. They call me Juice, the Juice. Was a no-good jerk. He is a asshole. He had no business killing his ex-wife Nicole and her friend Ronald Goldman. O.J. Simpson played on the naked gun in Roots, but as of now, he is a hardened criminal. O.J. Simpson, O.J. Simpson, O.J. Simpson, O.J. Simpson. Rock over London, rock on Chicago, the exclusive company. Say it with me. They call me Juice, the Juice.
Let's keep the laughs coming, eh, Simpson?